Thank you all for joining me today. Today's session is Smart Shipping Strategies, finding the right balance between cost and customer experience. I am Karen Strakowski. I am the Director of Client Success at Wine Shipping. And, I've been in the wine industry going on 20 years. And most of my career was actually on the winery side. So I've done all the things. I used to joke and say, people would say, "What's your title?" And I'm like, "Well, what hour is it?" Because I didn't make the wine and I didn't pick the grapes, but, I did everything else for about 12 and a half years. And then I had the pleasure of actually working with Jordan here and working with wineries to help with their direct-to-consumer sales. So for Jordan and I had the pleasure of working together for 3 years. So that was awesome. And then I came to Wine Shipping, and it's been really great to be at Wine Shipping. We've really evolved as a company the last 3 years, and I'm really excited to share with you some of the insights that we've been doing and new ways to help wineries grow their business. I truly believe that, if you're successful, then we're going to be successful, right? If you're selling more wine, you're going to ship more wine. And really, I really believe in that philosophy of, all learning together and we all can grow together and just do better together. So a little bit about Wine Shipping stands. Our leadership team, they came together and they really said to themselves, what does Wine Shipping stand for? And I always like to start with this because it really is the foundation of what we've been up to the last few years. So we have 3 stands: unity, simplicity, and fun. And, normally I'm all about unity, right? Because client success, we work together with you, we work together internally. But, simplicity has been kind of this year's theme, so to speak. And that's because, we are not just a 3PL anymore. We are also a technology company. And we've been building software to help solve some of these post-purchase things that POS systems don't address, right? You make the sale, but then there's the whole process of getting that to your customer. And sometimes, and our software has really helped to ease that process. So simplicity is, right, building software to simplify your life. And then, of course, we're all in wine, and wine is fun. So, can't help with that. So Wine Shipping, we currently serve over 1,000 wine brands. We are the largest DTC shipper. We have 5 strategic regions that we're in. So, you can see that we're in Oregon, we're here in the Napa-Sonoma area, but we're also in the Central Coast. And then we have 2 locations where we allow our winery brands to forward stage their product. So in Missouri and in New York. And, if that's not part of your shipping strategy, you should think about that, because really forward staging your product allows you, again, to get that product to your customer sooner. They're certainly not expecting it to get in 2 days by ground or 1 day by ground if you're in New York, right? If they order it and then it's at their house the next day, wow. So, really, if that's not part of your strategy and thinking of things, I encourage you to, think about that. We also do more than just shipping. So we also support our wineries with value-added services, like helping them have that unboxing experience, tissue wrapping or special gift boxes and whatnot. So we really work with you to kind of help deliver that really magical post-purchase experience. Today I am joined by, and unfortunately Andrea is not able to be here today, but we have Laura. She is also from Round Pond, and she's the director of marketing, or she's part of their marketing team. Marketing manager, sorry. But so we have Laura here and Bryce, and if you guys want to maybe introduce yourselves, and Jordan, you could take a moment and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jordan Rudy. I'm founder of Peak Wine Solutions. I help wineries sell more direct-to-consumer. I've been in the wine business for 20 years now, last 15 strictly direct-to-consumer, and I love helping wineries connect with their consumer any way possible. Oh, sorry.
I'm Laura Vanderkamp, marketing manager at Round Pond Estate. I've been with Round Pond for just about 4 years now and in the industry for, about 12 years in various capacity, similar to Karen. sort of all over the place wherever needed. So yeah, excited to be here today.
And I'm Bryce Young. I'm with Wine Spies. My agent name is Agent Crush. We've got a spy-themed business. We're a direct-to-consumer retailer. I'm new to wine, so only in it for 2 years. A VP of growth at Wine Spies, but previously I was in e-commerce and marketing for about 20 years. So now I'm spanning operations and marketing and having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, we do that in the wine industry, right? We like figure out, oh, you can do that too. So I told Bryce, I said, "Oh, welcome to the wine industry. Now they're going to put you in all the things." So our agenda today is, we're going to talk about, shipping incentives and strategies and outcomes, and then we'll take some question and answers. But I want to start with, in January, I put out a survey to the greater wine industry. So not just wine shippers, right? I worked with lots of different organizations and they sent it out because people were always asking me my advice on shipping strategies. And, I was fine about giving that advice before I was actually working for the shipping company. And I always felt it was a little bit of like, you're going to pay us regardless of what I tell you. So I felt like it was a little bit of a conflict of interest, but then I got over myself because too many people kept asking me. So I wanted to just take it out and just not be about Karen's opinion. And so we put this out, and I'm still scrubbing all of the data, but I have a couple of insights that I wanted to share with you. The first question I asked was, do you subsidize shipping? And you can see here, 78.26% of people answered yes. And 21.74% said, no, we pass on the costs. But what was really interesting is when I went into the data a little bit more was those 69% of the people who said they don't subsidize shipping actually subsidize shipping. Because when you ask questions later on, yes, they are subsidizing shipping. So most people are subsidizing shipping. And I would say let's applaud that. And because really the customer, they don't want to pay for shipping, right? Amazon has completely changed the consumer mentality about shipping. I think Jordan, I always laugh at him because we worked with a sales guy at our company, and he used to use this in upselling, which is you can't drink shipping, right? Because people, and it worked, right? People are like, yes, I will spend more money so I don't have to pay for shipping. So some of the other insights that, came through on our survey were, 40% straight up subsidized shipping at a lower cost, right? Just from the get-go. 25% of people offer free shipping as long as they met a threshold. 3% incorporate shipping in the unit costs. And this one was a little surprising to me. And I would say that is a very underused strategy, right? Because if you are taking the cost of shipping into your bottle price and then you can present it as no cost for shipping, that's a good mental trick, so to speak. Only 2% enable customers to make multiple purchases in order to then meet thresholds to have no shipping costs. And then 30% of folks, they had a combination of incentives out there that they offered. So, again, a little bit more about incorporating shipping into the unit cost was, our Demal is one of our clients, and they're kind enough to let us show an example of how they've been communicating. So last year, they went through this process of incorporating the cost of shipping in the bottle. And Angela from Demal was kind enough to send me a little quote, and I want to do her justice. So, but she said, overall, we're pleased with the outcome of offering waived shipping. We find that it has removed a great headache from our members' purchasing experience. Where we used to receive feedback each release cycle that so many folks were deterred from purchasing because of paying for shipping. Now we're just able to simply focus on what we offer best: world-class wines and exceptional customer experience. And, I know this is a tricky one, right? Because in the P&L, right, you're going to not, if you don't really remember that you have incorporated the cost of the shipping somewhat into your wine, when you see that big shipping bill, it can be, sometimes you have to explain it a little bit more. But I would encourage you, if you're not using that, to kind of think about that a little bit in your strategy. But I'm going to move forward here and bring some of our panelists here, and let's hear what they're doing. So let's start with, how do you guys approach subsidized shipping at your winery or business, and what are the guiding principles behind your decision?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Excuse me. So we do subsidized shipping for all of our standard rates. And then we also try and tie it in to incentivize. For Wine Club, for example, our Case Club has shipping included as a way to help people kind of move into that higher tier, give them more incentive. Definitely helps as well for people, say, on the East Coast where it tends to be more expensive to ship 3 bottles at a time. Let's do that shipping included. And then we also do a lot of flat rate offers, and those tend to work really well, even if the smaller, discount is smaller. If we're doing something to non-club, just gives that kind of psychological little perk of they're getting something. So that definitely helps us move the needle if it's a $10, even $20 flat rate shipping, when they can see what the difference is between getting 3 bottles, at $32 versus $20.
So to follow up on that, do you customize your shipping strategies by customer type, like club versus non-club, or order value thresholds?
Yeah, absolutely. We tailor all of those and really work within segments to make sure that we're sending the right messaging to the right people. So, for example, non-buyers or people who are new subscribers, we offer complimentary shipping on their first offer or first order with no threshold. We just want to get them in the door and having that purchase made to get them kind of into our ecosystem. And then that's just, to kind of continue them on through that journey, eventually getting them into Wine Club where they'll hopefully purchase more.
Bryce, how about you? You guys do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so we have our shipping built into the bottle cost, but we have a unique system where we have a virtual locker. So you can buy 1 or 2 bottles at a time. Our customers use us a lot for brand discovery, trying out new wines that they haven't tried before. So once you reach 12 bottles, then we can ship that virtual locker for free. So we give them the option to build 2 different lockers. They can hang on to it through the hot season, although we ship during the summer. But they can ship whenever they want. So once they hit 12 bottles, that ships free.
I see on the screen you also just say single order. How do you handle that?
So single order is, if somebody wants to buy, a couple bottles, if they want to buy a case, that ships immediately. But with our locker system, I would say that 8 or 9 out of 10 of our customers build a full case and ship the case. So we're typically not doing 1, 2, 3 bottle shipments at all.
So what type of promotions have proven most effective at driving sales?
Yeah, I'm a big believer. There's a couple things that make a great promotion. The first is simplicity. So if a customer has to bring out a flow chart to follow your promotion, you're losing them. So something simple, buy 6 bottles, shipping's on us. Just the easy go-to is a great place to start. Beyond that, temperature-controlled shipping this weekend only. You want it to be an easy offer. Again, Amazon's really set the bar there. Their offer is 2-day shipping, easy, right? So that's the kind of mentality we want when we're building our promotion here. Also, we want to build urgency. So we put this offer in front of a customer, and now we want to drive action. Urgency creates action. So this weekend only, club exclusive, whatever it is to create action for that customer. You have their eyeballs, you have it for the next 20 minutes. Let's get them to take action on whatever that offer is you put in front of them. Also, exclusivity. So that customer should feel special. This shouldn't feel like an offer that's available to everybody all the time. So segment down that list. Make that offer as exclusive and personalized to that customer as you can possibly do it. And if you can do these 3 things together, that really will resonate with that customer and make a successful shipping promotion.
Yeah, tagging on to that, for us, it's a lot of seasonality as well as limited time bound. So offering things like complimentary shipping we did for Mother's Day through ecom, really focusing on gift sets that we can offer, offering shipping included on those gift sets. Typically that encourages people, they'll add a gift set and then they may purchase for themselves. They may add additional wines on, additional gift sets, but always having that time bound so that, to your point, it's not an all the time offer. It's not always there. They're, really compelled to make that purchase quickly. Another really successful one for us is club add-ons. So our typical club shipment is about 4 bottles. We have a 2, 4, and then up into the case. For those 2 and 4 bottle club members, we encourage them to add 2 to 4 additional bottles, and we'll do a flat rate shipping of $10. We see really great success with that, where they're, to your point, you can't drink shipping. So they are happy to add those 2 bottles. They'd rather do that for $10 than pay the full shipping amount. And so that's been really successful. And then we also have it as a shipping benefit for tenure. So once our club members hit 5 years in the club, they become a collector member, and we'll start doing kind of tiered, whether it's $10, $20 shipping up to complimentary shipping, depending on their tenure in the club, which definitely helps with their purchases, as well as, making them feel really valued and appreciated as a longtime member.
Question for you. What about your local folks when they see you shipping for free? Does that come across?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that we do generally for club pickups, for that example, is we are really lucky that we have an olive mill and we make olive oils. And so we'll say, when you come pick up your order, you can choose an infused olive oil on us, or having some sort of little benefit that when they come, they get that in person. Because to your point, that's super important. We want to make sure our locals feel like they're not getting, left behind or something like that. And then for regular offers and things like that, we'll go drive the wine to your house. You need to, meet us somewhere, or we need to open up the winery on a special day for you. So we just try to work to really accommodate them for those orders.
So how do you decide when and how often to run these promotions throughout the year?
So our goal is to ship year round, and to remind our customers that we ship year round. We ship during summer, but it's also a real balance. We really segment depending on the channel, making sure that we're, having offers in e-com, the tasting room, and things like that, where we're not training our guests to expect those offers. Because that's the other thing is, we don't want them to always say, oh, well, in May, you always do a case sale where I can get complimentary shipping. I'm just going to wait until May every year to make that purchase. So we're really trying to, help with that, because they do expect subsidized or complimentary shipping, especially on web. And so that's an area where we really try to focus on what are those strategic offers that we can put in front of them, because Amazon has so trained the customer that it's complimentary, it's in 2 days, it's at your doorstep. And so, the other thing that we do is work generally like August through September to connect with our non-buyers or lapsed buyers to really prime them for the holiday season. So we'll send really targeted specific messages, getting them to convert into active buyers, so that when the holidays come, they're now really primed for these offers that we're sending, and really excited to, kind of purchase more and gift more.
How about you, Bryce?
Promotions and strategies.
Yeah. How do you you mentioned, temperature control shipping year round.
Yeah. Yeah. So, people don't know that you can get wine year round. I mean, if you live in a hot area, like if you're in Texas, it's a coin flip. So one of the things that we do is, we ship TC, so we force TC in the summer. Our customers have the option in their account to be able to pre-select temperature control, pre-select ice, or have it deselected. We override all those settings. It's actually going in 2 days. So whatever they chose, we let them know that, hey, during the summer, we're enforcing TC, we're enforcing ice packs. If you uncheck those boxes, it's on you. We'll still take care of them if their wine gets lost or damaged. But we are under 0.5% loss rate shipping during the summer with these strategies. But the key is just over communicating the strategy and how we're going to ship during the summer, but also it's communicating during the shipment, right? It's not a marketing email. It's not a marketing text. People spent a lot of money on this product that they love and they want, and they want to know where it is. And if somebody misses a delivery, we tell them where they can pick it up. We tell them when the next delivery is happening. We tell them how to reroute. We show them how to deliver to a UPS or FedEx pickup location. where it's usually temperature controlled inside of there. So it's not sitting on a hot truck after the TC to the local carrier point. So it's just educating them on all the options that they have, and just like really focusing on the first time delivery rate. So all of these strategies that you'll employ all show in a couple different metrics, and one of them is the first time delivery rate. That's what we focus on.
You charge more for TC?
No.
How do you manage the margin on that? I mean, I'm assuming it costs you more.
Not typically. It all depends on who you're using to ship wine.
Who do you use, Bryce?
Wine shipping.
I mean, I can speak to that as far as it does cost more. I mean, you're adding an ice pack, you're adding the additional packaging. So it does cost the company more. What we typically have done in the past is we have a summer shipping strategy where the rate is a little bit higher to offset those costs when we do tour shipping, but at the same time, if you're waiting the whole summer to ship, you're losing those sales. So ideally, it's worth the investment to have the temp control shipment with the upgraded shipping to get it to the customer so that they want to continue to stock their wine versus waiting until all the heat goes away and October's here and suddenly they're like, don't send me my club shipment because I'm getting all the wine I've been waiting for.
We do charge for ice packs, but we split it with the customer. Yeah. It's probably 10 now.
Andrea, what do you guys do? How do you talk about shipping year round or using shipping post purchase?
Yeah, obviously working with partner like Wine Shipping, where we have the awesome client portal that we can work through, working on premium tracking notifications, making sure that that's really clear to the customer. To your point, they know where their wine is, when to expect it, when it's coming, and who it's coming from. We work a lot with hold locations and, encouraging our guests to find a local Walgreens, CVS, FedEx, whatever it is where their wine can be delivered so that it is delivered on that first try. It's not sitting in a hot truck because they ran out to run an errand at that exact moment that their delivery came. And really just over communication, everything we can, sending emails, sending text messages, calling them if we're not getting response from them, and making sure that we're really communicative with them of when to expect their wine. And that really increases the delivery rates. And then also the sales, as you pointed out. If they wait all summer and they get all their wine in October, all of a sudden they're not getting their club shipment. They maybe aren't even doing their holiday gifting. Versus if we can really message that we can ship it all through the summer, it's going to arrive safely. They're enjoying that wine all through the year, and they're ready when October, November, December comes around.
Yeah, I always tell people if you don't ship your wine in the summer, people drink wine in the summer. So they will find a place to buy the wine in the summer. So ship your wine in the summer. Jordan, talk to me. Oh, yeah.
How you guys frame communication to clients? We run into this every single year when we start doing temperature control tracking, where it's a longer lead time. And I feel like everybody in this room is probably doing some form of temperature control, and it feels like we're having to go through the same process of customers. Is there a strategy that you found that works in delivering that message so that they retain it year after year? Because I was just reading in here, it doesn't give you like a expected 10-day turnaround time from when your order is purchased. So that's sort of, as a small winery, it's hard for us. We spend a lot of time customer service-wise just trying to kind of set the expectation of the client, but it's a yearly thing, and it's with the same people, and it's like, oh, come on, guys.
Well, I have been working with a bunch of our clients, at least right now, in our premium tracking software. We allow our customers to have a branded tracking experience. It means that they're not going to UPS or FedEx to find out the tracking. So it's on a branded tracking page. And right now we've been segmenting on those temp control orders. So when they go to the branded tracking page, there's messaging about the expectations. And then they also have clients that have a specific part of their website that addresses temperature control, so that shipping that you can link them to so that they can learn even more. It has the map and explains the times and whatnot. So I've been helping clients do that recently. But Jordan, why don't you talk a little bit more too?
Yeah, and going even beyond that, depending on who you're using, that can change, right? There needs to be that communication and education And I wish customers can remember things, but we all know they have memories of goldfish sometimes. So as you're talking to them, acknowledge what's going on. Temp controlled especially, that there's a black hole period for some shippers to where you say, okay, I'm going to ship your wine, and then it just disappears for a week or 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden they get a tracking number, and that wine shows up in 2 days. So explaining that every time and acknowledging that we are the experts. I know that it's hot out in Texas right now. I understand that it's 1,000 degrees in Arizona. Believe me, we have a way to get you your wine safe. It's going to disappear for a week. You're going to get a tracking number when it's coming out there. It'll have an ice pack when it arrives. Acknowledge, take that off the plate, and build that confidence that we have the tools to get you your wine safely. I can date myself a little bit, but I remember 20 years ago trying to ship wine, and the best we could do is toss it in the mail, cross our fingers, and hope it doesn't pop corks. We're beyond that now, right? Customers don't necessarily know that. And so again, that's part of the education and communication that we need to do as professionals to our customers. And I wish there was a way to do that once and be done, but I don't know. Yeah, simply, again.
We will send follow-up text messages too. So of course we have all of our automated texts that go out with shipping notifications. But to your point, it does not matter how many years we've done it and how many years they've received it. Every year they're confused by it. And so we found that just a personal outreach, a personal text, hey, it's Christina from Round Pond. We wanted to let you know this is what's happening. Especially if, let's say they order on a Thursday, maybe they remember that temp control goes out Friday, but they don't realize they've missed the cutoff. And so it's going to be the next Friday. So that one especially will send just kind of a personalized note so that they really understand the expectation. So I'll just over communicating everything.
One other thing to add too is if when the TC truck is leaving, say it's like leaving every Friday or whatever that is, you've got an order cutoff date. So if the order cutoff date or time is like Wednesday at noon, we roll it back a full day. So we're like, it's not Wednesday at noon, it's like Tuesday at midnight, because you don't want people pushing up against that hourly cutoff and being like, oh, it's 11:59. Like, I'm not going to get my wine now. Like, no, you're not going to get your wine now. So you're going to have to wait another week. But just communicating that to them, having like a really set shipping policy for the summertime or wintertime for that regard, and then letting people know, right? So we'll take texts and we will text customers, people that have bought. We don't want to waste communication on people that haven't bought yet, but people that eventually do buy, they go into an automation, like an education series from us, kind of like letting them know about the brand, who Wine Spies is, and how the deliveries work, right? Because if they haven't bought from us, a lot of times they have no idea how our locker system works or how shipping works. So it's just a lot of education. It's just a lot of like communication with the customer.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions.
Oh, we love the question.
Perfect. What is your return rate and how do you manage returns? You just say, we'll give you your money back?
For us, we have a full guarantee. So we give them their money back. Everything all said and total with like damages and returns, it's under 1% for us across the board.
Is that true for everybody?
I would say similar. I don't know the exact percentage off the top of my head, but the reason that it is so low is a lot of the over communication. So we are reaching out when the wine is packed, when it's on the way, it's email, it's text, it's automated. If we don't hear back from the guest, then it's manual and we're reaching out to them because we want to make sure they're getting that wine on that first delivery. And then if it is returned to us, something like that, we'll work with the guest and figure out what was the issue. Do we need to ship you new wines, refund? But really finding strategic ways. Another thing we'll do is find another address. Hey, I'm going to be gone. Great. Is your neighbor home? Is your office home? Is your friend's office available? And finding a way that we can, get that wine to them before it even gets returned.
Well, on that topic, what if the customer lives in a state that you can't ship to? You just say, we don't do it?
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's a state we can't ship to, then then we're trying to find a friend in another state.
Do you find friends in another state?
Sometimes we do. Yeah, it just depends, and we have to manage that expectation. I think a lot of people in those states that we can't ship to are generally pretty aware that we can't ship to them, but there's always a few weird ones, and we'll just get creative with how we can make something work for them.
Do you have anything to say, George?
Yeah, jumping back to your return, I have a unique, view on this. I work with so many different wineries. I get to see kind of every way that wineries tackle this. From the winery that truly doesn't care, says, I'll ship anywhere, anytime, I'll throw it in the mail and just go, to somebody ultra conservative saying I won't ship for these 3 to 4 months. And in general, the return rates are pretty low. So 0.5%, 1%, 2%. Even those pretty lax and loose are in the low single digits. Wine's pretty resilient. We're not shipping cabbage at the end of the day. So I'm pretty confident we can get wine. If you're careful what you're doing, you're thoughtful, you can get wine to the customer in a safe way. Please.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. And disclaimer, I also work at wine shipping, but the return rates and the customer satisfaction is something we've learned we have to, as a partner to our clients, track very carefully. And we work really hard to keep rates of returns under 0.5%. And oftentimes we can beat that substantially. And here's something that's crazy. And when I first saw this data, I didn't believe it myself, but it keeps showing up over and over again. Temperature control shipping with these over communication tools consistently has the lowest rate of returns. It even beats air. And the reason is air oftentimes catches people by surprise. You have to be home to sign for that wine. If it's coming overnight and 2 days and you don't expect it, you might be at the dentist. And so, the miraculous thing is if your average bottle price is $50 or more on your DTC wines, temperature control, and I'm not talking about including ice packs, which do cost more, but temperature control shipping is consistently lower cost than ground when you factor in the reduced returns, customer service, and shortage that happens.
I knew you would have something to say.
Thank you.
Just tack one thing onto that. And just talking about communication too, it's not just communication during the shipment, it's communication after the shipment. So asking the customer how he did, how was your delivery? Because what they see is it's UPS or FedEx. It's not UPS or FedEx. It's us sending the package. And it's like their experience with us. So we send out, review requests for the shipment. Like, how did it go? And like, oh man, UPS fumbled it. The guy is awful. And so what we do is anything 3 stars or under, we proactively reach out to the customers and, we credit them or whatever. Even if it's not our fault, we want them to keep buying from us. It's so much easier to retain an existing customer than it is to go out and find a new one. So, $20 credit here for UPS messing up or, whatever it is, it goes a long, long way.
Do not be sorry. I love your questions.
Somebody mentioned CVS and Staples.
Yeah.
So for those people living in states where you cannot ship into, part of your customer service, can you say, we have a relationship with Staples and CVS right across the border? I mean, is that part of your ecosystem?
Yeah, definitely. We're always trying to find solutions. So if they do live close enough and it's right across the border, they don't need to have a friend in that area. We can absolutely encourage them to ship to those locations. But we even use those locations in their own state. If we're shipping to a state that we can ship to and they're not able to be home, we really encourage that. And on the tracking page, we'll have links to say, here, find one close to you. They can tell us or we'll look for it and find it for them. But that has really cut down on returns because it's held for, I think, 5 days usually, which gives them the time, in their normal errands of the week to find and go pick up their wine.
That's not a relationship that you have with Staples and UPS. You're just asking the customer name, care of CVS or Staples.
You can probably speak on this better than I can, Karen.
Okay, hold at locations.
Yeah.
Big believer in hold at locations. There's 28,000 hold at locations across the United States that accept alcohol. So, if that's not part of your shipping strategy, jump on the bandwagon. I think I've been tracking this. It's not a part of this slide because I'm a data nerd, but I've been evangelizing about hold at locations for about a year. We still, for wine shipping, I think we're at about, I want to say it's 6% right now of our packages start off going to a hold at location. So we ship a lot of wine and a lot of packages. We have a lot of opportunity still. It started when I started tracking this and talking about it, it was at 2%. So in a year, we're up. So I'm happy to see that, that's been going up, up, up. But holdout locations should absolutely be part of your strategy. And I will, not getting paid by this, but I do think that FedEx's holdout location system is better than UPS. So seen a lot of feedback about people getting charged at UPS when they go pick it up, but for FedEx holdout locations, never. So they're holdout locations. Yeah, they have an entire hold at locations. Yeah, or pickup locations. No, that's okay. So FedEx has an incredible network. They have partners with Walgreens, and I want to even say some auto parts stores and the dollar stores and, all over the place.
But admittedly, like getting wine shipped to these holdout locations can be pretty complex. The label needs to be generated a certain way. Which hold locations are actually currently accepting wines is a dynamic thing. So there are partners that can help you with that. Obviously, our company, Wine Shipping, helps with that. Other logistics providers help with that. There's technology solutions like Via Delivery that can help you with it if you're fulfilling in-house. So it's really a really valuable tool, but probably one that requires some expert support to execute well.
Yeah, we integrated a software tool with Wine Shipping, so it's integrated into our checkout flow, where if you enter an address, it'll show you a map with all of the holdout locations in your area. I don't have I haven't looked into, like what percentage we have at holdout locations. I just know as a percentage of sales, last summer, which was our first summer that we implemented holdout locations, we lost less wine as a percentage of overall sales than we did the previous summer.
Yeah. Temp control to a holdout location, perfect summer strategy. Let's talk. So back to my survey, shipping year round. 85% of people are shipping year round, which is great. And about, 15% are holding. And then you can see here, right, we have business as usual, right? So they're just don't even promote it. It just is what it is. We can see ship at the customer's own risk was how some folks answered there. But I love to see utilize express shipping and temp control shipping up there as like the highest, right? And then, or not the absolute highest, is using ice packs. And most people, right, used a combo of those. So, shipping year round, I think that for so long, we as an industry, because wine is temperature sensitive, we educated our customers that we're going to protect your wine and we're not going to ship it until it's safe. But now there's so many more options to be able to have it be safe year round than it used to be in the past. And now it's a re-education, right? This is what you said before, right? Every year I have to reteach my customers. And I think that that's just part of wine, right? We're always re-educating our customers and our staff and to talk about things. So, opportunity to try and shift the needle here in the industry to re-educate our customers that it's not the same, right? Carriers are shipping and delivering. FedEx does it 7 days a week. UPS does it 6 days a week. So, it doesn't have to be just a Monday day shipping to make sure that people are home, right? So the carriers evolved too with COVID, right? That really shifted with COVID and the explosion of shipping. So, in summary, for wineries not currently running any shipping promotions, what's a good starter campaign to get them going? Or what's the most important, impactful campaign you suggest a winery use?
I would say the club add-ons that I mentioned has been incredibly impactful. Having people add those just 2 additional bottles onto their club shipment. They get, a flat rate ship that's palatable to them, and they get wine with it. So that has been a really great offer for us, as well as just really working to incentivizing second purchases. So whether that is, putting them in a flow that on their second once they've purchased 2 times, they start to receive emails with different offers, different shipping offers. But I will say the best way to incentivize a second purchase is to have a great first delivery. So that's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, for us, what we find that works to get new customers is just giving them an amazing offer. Sometimes we do free shipping on 6 bottles for new customers, but new customers only. We don't offer that for existing customers. So just explaining to them that it's a new customer offer. But I mean, what we really want to do is educate people on our lockers program, because we want people buying bottles and adding to their collection and then shipping that at one time. So what we'll do for that is have automated flows. When somebody has 1 or 2 bottles in their locker, they've been a customer for less than 2 months, then we're just educating them on the locker system. Like, hey, we haven't seen you in a little while. Here's a little spiff to get you over the edge, to get them buying again and get them in the habit of adding that bottle to their locker.
I would recommend a beat the heat program. If you're not doing that right now, we are in the Goldilocks time to ship wine. It's going to be very, very hot in the next month. So get your wine today. It's time. Stock up on summer wines. Now, there's no better time to ship wine than today. In another month or 2, let's start talking temperature controlled and stocking up on the wine and all the great ways we can get your wine to you safely.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So, in summary, right, find ways to ship year round. Obviously, create reasons to buy, keep it simple, and make it work for your business. And really focus on first-time delivery. I am a huge believer. If you don't know what your first-time delivery rate is, dig in and figure it out. If you're below 85% first-time delivery, there is opportunity. That is how I coach my clients. We look at their statistics, and if they are not getting their product there 85% of the time on the first time, then we have opportunity to bump that up, whether it's through their email communications, adding a text notification, and adding text to your shipping notifications. If that's all you do, please do it. People look at their text in real time. Out for delivery is, a key communication. Yeah.
In regards to the text messaging, is it a message that stems from wine shipping, or does it come from the CRM you're using? Because what we're trying to investigate is how to get tracking information from the fulfillment warehouse to our collectors. Because right now it's just going via email and it gets lost, and or it gets there too late and it's already on its way.
We support 2 different texting ways at Wine Shipping. So we do have, through our partnership with Aftership and giving our customers premium tracking, there is a texting. So it's just a one-way text. It's branded, having the brand right there, but your customer can't text you back. But we also have a wonderful integration with Red Chirp. So Red Chirp, I think, is, a huge fan of Red Chirp, what they're doing and whatnot. And so their integration with our technology sends that text out to the customer. And when they click track their package, it goes to our, branded or our client's branded tracking page, so that their brand is front and center from that interaction with the text.
But it is, to address your question, I think it's very important that the text messages are triggered from your shipping system. Triggering it from CRM, especially if you're using text, is unfortunately too slow. You're gonna too often frustrate your customer, because they're gonna get a text message saying, hey, your package is out for delivery. Meanwhile, there's a nasty note on their door, and you do that once and you've angered that customer forever. So the timeliness of those triggers is critically important.
Yeah, real-time carrier event-driven communication is key. Our software does that. So the moment the carrier scans it in transit, it's not going from system A to system B to system C. And other questions?
What was the app that you tacked on that would show people the nearest Walnut location at checkout?
We did it custom with Wine Shipping, but they have an integration. Do you remember what the name is?
It's Via.Delivery. Yeah. Big fan of Via.Delivery. If you don't know who they are, they've got great software that can be incorporated into various POS systems. So reach out to them. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you all so much for joining us today and talking shipping strategies. And thank you to my guests here today. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys today, and thank you for being an interactive audience. That helps. Have a great rest of your day.